discussing. first verse of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. The President of the University.
Hello, class of 2024. Mr. Rector, members of the Board of Visitors, students, colleagues, family, and friends, welcome to Final Exercises, the sequel. My name is Jim Ryan, and in addition to being the president of UVA, I'm your host for today's ceremony, and I will also officially award the degrees. Today marks the end of the 195th academic session, and we're here to celebrate and confer degrees on students from 9 of the university's schools: the School of Medicine, the School of Law, the School of Engineering and Applied Science, okay. This could be a long day. The Darden Graduate School of Business Administration. The School of Architecture. The School of Nursing. The McIntyre School of Commerce. Okay, I'd like everyone to cheer for this next school, the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. And our newest school, the School of Data Science. Among us this weekend are students who worked extraordinarily hard and families who have traveled far to be here, including some who have overcome enormous challenges. We have an international student, for example, who this weekend is seeing her family for the first time in 4 years. Another graduating student is celebrating with more than 35 family members, some from as far away as Cameroon. Our oldest graduate is 71. And the youngest are 19. Many in this class are the first in their families to graduate from college, and many more are celebrating their first in-person graduation after missing out on high school graduation in 2020. All of these stories are important, which is to say, all of your stories are important, and every graduate here has earned this moment of celebration, as have their families. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge some graduating students who can't be here today, including members of our women's tennis team, women's golf team, men's lacrosse team, and softball team who are competing this weekend. Go Hoos! I'd also like to offer some thanks. First, thank you to the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command Band from Fort Eustis, Virginia, who are performing our music today, and to the members of our ROTC programs who presented the colors. They deserve a round of applause. I'd also like to offer a huge thanks to our talented staff who work hard all year and then put in tremendous effort to make this ceremony special for all of you. And particular thanks are due to Cecil Banks, our Director of Major Events, and his team. I'd also like to thank all of our outstanding faculty who have served not simply as teachers and colleagues, but also as mentors and friends. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Congratulations and thanks to all of the parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, family and friends in the audience today. Together, you have supported our students, your students, in countless ways. You've helped pay tuition, you've offered encouragement, and you've fed them when they're home on break. This has been a momentous, but by no means easy journey for everyone, including all of you. Today is your day too, which is why I would like to ask all of our graduating students to stand, turn toward the audience, and give a round of applause to those who helped you on your journey. Your class has been through highs and lows during your time at UVA, and I'd like to take a moment to remember two students who should have graduated with the College of Arts and Sciences yesterday, Lavelle Davis Jr. and Devin Chandler, who were killed in November 2022, along with Deshaun Perry, a member of the class of 2023. All three were given posthumous degrees last year. We will never forget these talented and beloved teammates, classmates, friends, and family members. And I will never forget how this community came together to comfort each other as we grieved. All of you have my deepest gratitude and admiration for that. Finally, I'd like to offer my sincere congratulations and gratitude to the talented and passionate class of 2024. You've had experiences like few others. Your time here for most of you began during the pandemic, and the months and years to follow could not have been entirely what you were expecting. The last couple of weeks have been challenging, and I know that May 4th in particular was a distressing and painful day for many in our community. But the strength and grace of your class has carried us through both joy and sorrow. And I hope and trust that you will look back on your years here as among the most important and life-changing of your lives, and that you will remember both the joy and the challenges, and that you will never doubt that you can do hard things, because you've already done hard things. I know that without a doubt, you've made this university a better place, and I'm certain you'll leave here to make the world a better place. And with that, let us begin this honorable and joyous ceremony through which we will welcome you to the worldwide community of University of Virginia graduates. Thank you.
The Rector of the University.
Good morning. Oh, come on, we could do better than that. Good morning. All right. On behalf of the Board of Visitors, I extend warm greetings and congratulations to all the students, parents, faculty, staff, and colleagues at the University of Virginia. Before I introduce our speaker for this commencement, I would like to share some comments with our new graduates. As a first-generation college graduate and a triple who, I have experienced firsthand the value of an education from this amazing university. It changed my life. As rector of the Board of Visitors, I'm constantly reminded of another valuable lesson that I learned at UVA, the importance of assuming good intent. When you graduate from UVA, you will have great memories. We all remember our time on grounds with fondness and pride. You may even find yourself saying, well, when I was at UVA, thinking things were better back then. It reminds me of the old joke. How many UVA graduates does it take to change a light bulb? Any takers? The answer is 2. 1 to change the bulb, and 1 to talk about how great the old light bulb was. Please remember, this great university is a living, breathing organism. Your time here was different than mine, and it will be different than the time of those who will be enrolling in the fall. Yet some things always will remain part of the UVA DNA, providing a world-class educational experience, the extraordinary commitment to student self-governance and the honor system, the special relationship between our students and faculty, our love of our athletic programs, and a special shout out to the women's swim dive team, who won not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 consecutive NCAA titles. And of course, this majestic and magnificent lawn, designed by our founder, Thomas Jefferson. So as this graduation day fades into the background of your life, you can be proud of what each one of you have accomplished here and what you have become. And when, inevitably, you will hear news about something happening on grounds, I hope you will please start by assuming good intent. Also, come back and participate in defining the future of this university. You will always be welcome here. I'd like to close by reading a passage from The Honor Men, written by Corks and Curls editor James Hay Jr. in 1903. If you live a long time and, keeping the faith in all these things hour by hour, still see that the sun gilds your path with real gold and that the moon floats in dream silver, then, remembering the purple shadows of the lawn, the majesty of the colonnades, and the dream of your youth, you may say in reverence and thankfulness, I have worn the honors of honor. I graduated from Virginia. Congratulations and Godspeed. Wahoo-wah. I'm now very honored to introduce our keynote speaker today and my good friend, Dean of the School of Law and Arnold H. Leon Professor of Law, Risa Goluboff. Risa Goluboff took an AB summa cum laude from Harvard, a JD from Yale Law School, and an MA and PhD in history from Princeton University. That's pretty good. She clerked for Judge Guido Calabresi in the U.S. Court of Appeals Second Court and for U.S. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. She is a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the American Law Institute, and a distinguished lecturer for the Organization of American Historians. In 2023, President Biden appointed her to the Permanent Committee for the Oliver Wendell Holmes Devise, which documents the history of the U.S. Supreme Court. Her affiliation with the university dates to 2002, when she joined the law faculty as a research associate professor. Her current appointments at UVA are many: Professor of History, Chair of the Carson Institute of Democracy Advisory Board, Senior Faculty Fellow at the Miller Center, affiliated faculty with the Carter Woodson Institute, and Dean of the School of Law. She's a leading scholar in the areas of 20th century American constitutional and civil rights law and has written extensively on these topics, including 2 award-winning books, The Lost Promise of Civil Rights, and Vagrant Nation, Police Power, Constitutional Change, and the Making of the 1960s. She's won numerous awards for both scholarship and teaching, including the Carl McFarland Award for Excellence in Law Faculty Scholarship in 2008, the All-University Teaching Award in 2011, and the Raven Award. None of these accolades begin to tell the story of her service to the university under the category of other duties as assigned, which include her important committee work, such as chairing the university's Dean's Working Group that led the response to the horrific events on August 11th and August 12th, 2017. Dean Golubov will leave the deanship this year for a well-deserved sabbatical, and then she plans to return to teaching, research, and most likely more service to UVA. I would now like to welcome the incomparable Dean Golubov.
That would be the law school. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rector Hardy, for that lovely introduction. Thank you, President Ryan, for inviting me to speak today. And thank you to everyone who makes this amazing day possible. I am truly honored to be here and delighted to see all of you, graduates, families, friends, members of the Board of Visitors, university administrators, and staff. As Rector Hardy mentioned, I'm about to step down from my leadership role and return to the law school faculty. So this is my last assignment as dean. I'm just announcing that now, President Ryan. It has been a hard one. So in my effort to get it right, I actually wrote 3 different mini speeches. The first one is about this occasion and some personal reflections I have on transitions. The second one is about the historical moment of my years as dean. And the third one is about this place, UVA. I'm a both-and person, so I've decided to give them all. Maybe I should say I'm a both-and person. Don't worry, they're mini speeches. Okay. Here's the first. This speech is about this occasion, commencement, which marks a major transition in your lives, and like you, in mine. I am in transition today too. Transitions present an opportunity to reflect on where we've come from and where we're going. And in particular, I've been thinking a lot lately about the voices that have guided me to this day and will guide me in the future. And I want to share a few of those voices with you on this special occasion. The first voice I want to share is my mother's. Now, I'm guessing that if you're already thinking about the voices that guide you, your mother's might be on many of your lists. I return again and again to one of the things that my mother has said to me over the years. If not you, who? It was that voice that has always prompted me to raise my hand in class or to move to South Africa after college without knowing a soul there. My mother's faith in my abilities is limitless. If I asked her whether I should pursue my dream of playing basketball for Tony Bennett, I have no doubt that despite the fact that 1, I am a woman, 2, I am not quite 4 feet 11 inches tall, yes, I'm standing on a riser, and 3, I have basically no hand-eye coordination, my mother would reply, if not you, who? That I might occasionally overreach and yes, fail, when I act on that voice is part of the point. If not you, who prompts me to take risks. It also reminds me that I belong in the places that those risks make possible. If not you, who tells me not to question why I should be in every room I enter. Finally, it's a prompt to take responsibility. If not you, who? If I want something to happen, then I have to take the initiative. It, whatever it is on me. The second voice I've been thinking about lately belongs to one of my professors, Dirk Hartog. I'm guessing, maybe I'm hoping that you might have a professor on your list too. Whenever I was writing a paper and I was stymied, I would plop down in his office and I would explain, sometimes in more detail than necessary, why nothing made any sense. I didn't understand the readings, or what I was finding in the archives wasn't what I expected to find. I know you've all been there, hitting a wall, unable to move to the next step, whether it's a paper or some computer code or a structural problem with something you're trying to build or a diagnosis. And after I finally stopped talking, he would say, "The problem is the thing that's interesting," by which he meant you can't ignore the problem or avoid it. You should focus your attention on it and listen to what it's telling you. Focus on the disjuncture between the expected and the actual. Bring the problem to the surface, and that's where you'll find your own perspective, your own vision. This is true not only in writing or coding or designing, but in life. Problems are the stuff of life, not things to avoid. They are what make life challenging and meaningful and what spark innovation and creativity. The problem is the thing that's interesting. The next voice is that of one of my brothers, and he says, "Ask about the big yellow flower." Now, I know this sounds a little strange. That is not a common saying. You haven't missed that in your growing up, but stay with me. My brother's a writer, so he sets the following scene. You walk into a room full of people, and your eye is instantly drawn to someone wearing a hat with a huge yellow flower affixed to the front. It's impossible to miss, and that's the point. And my brother poses the question, do you ask about the flower? I had been aware of this phenomenon, the person wanting you to ask a particular question, before my brother described it in precisely this way. And I will say, and I'm not proud when I confess this to you, my instinct had often been not to ask. I kind of resented that they were trying to commandeer my attention, until the day my brother said, I always ask about the big yellow flower. It's part of that person's story, and my brother wants to know their story. He wants to know who they are and why the flower. This conversation had a profound effect on me, and I think back to it all the time. It made me realize that in asking about the big yellow flower, in learning people's stories, we show and find our common humanity. That has been especially hard to do lately. There are so many forces pushing us apart, emphasizing our differences from one another rather than our commonalities. But you can't know me just by knowing a few facts about me, as important as those facts may be. But you can know me by asking about my big yellow flower, and I can know you the same way. The next voice belongs to Countess Hughes from Housing and Residence Life here at UVA. I hear some applause. Countess is the person who assigned you to your dorm rooms, for better or for worse. You can applaud or no. And she's an acquaintance of mine. And Countess has many words of wisdom, and the one I come back to all the time is her saying, what did they say next? Her question comes up when someone complains about what someone else said that was upsetting or offensive or that they simply disagreed with. What did they say next prompts grace, curiosity, and engagement rather than judgment. If we build on the common humanity of the big yellow flower, we can take the single comment as a beginning, not an ending. Countess's question also reminds me to take responsibility for my own part in such exchanges, for I have given it a corollary. And what did you do or say before that? This is something I always think about when I hear small children complain about their children. The classic, Mom, he hit me. Seems important to ask, well, what did you do right before that? And then follow it up with, and what did he say next? I have one last voice to share with you. It's that of my husband. When I first became dean, I faced new problems and new questions all the time, and I leaned heavily on my friends and my colleagues, and particularly my husband, who is also a colleague of mine in the law school. A few weeks in, I needed advice yet again, and I called him in his office on the first floor from mine on the third, and I said, is it okay that I'm bothering you again? I know you're busy with your own work. And he replied, you don't understand. All I do, all day, every day, is sit here at this desk, worrying about you, wondering how you're doing, if you're okay, and how I can help. I suspect and I hope that the people around you, those here today and those who can't be here, think that way about you too. And I suspect and hope that you do and will think that way about other people. Because that, love, relationships, friendship, family, support, is what makes all the rest possible. It gives us courage to take risks and solve problems and find common humanity and engage across difference. I imagine that each of you have your own set of voices that you will continue to curate and aspire to live by. And of course, you should also think about what kinds of voices you want to be in other people's heads. That first speech fit my initial sense of this assignment, a speech reflecting on this occasion of graduation and this time of transition in my life as well as yours. But I wasn't quite satisfied with it. The historian in me wanted to speak not only to this occasion, but to the historical moment of my years as dean, which led me to my second mini speech. So let me tell you about some photos. When I became dean 8 years ago, I had just finished the book that the rector mentioned, a book on the 1960s and 1970s, and I decided to hang a few photos of the university during that era in my new office. I particularly liked one that shows several pairs of men's feet, a few in dress shoes and dress pants, and one in bare feet and blue jeans, walking side by side together in human connection, despite seeming to exist on opposite sides of the cultural and sartorial and generational chasm that was the 1960s. Those tumultuous times of global and national conflict in their sepia tones, they felt far away when I hung those photos of a distant era of history. I couldn't have imagined that my 8 years as dean, yours as a student here, and for many of you before that, would be another such time, filled with crises, acute and chronic, wars and conflicts and pandemics and shootings near and far that we have lived through. And despite that, despite those challenges, you all have filled me with hope and pride for how you responded to them. Like the pride I felt in UVA students during and after the white supremacist violence in Charlottesville in 2017. In the face of the hate and vitriol on display during those days, our students, like our faculty and our staff, responded with love and support. They were medics and legal observers. They invited each other and even new students who arrived in Charlottesville for the very first time ever on those days into their homes and into the embrace of this community. There was also, of course, the pandemic, which started out acute but became chronic. This was a crisis of life and death and losses big and small. And it was a crisis of isolation and alienation. It was so hard to connect, to see each other as whole people, to mix versions of my speeches, to ask about the flower or what they said next when we were all just squares on a screen. But our students supported each other, and they forged friendships despite so many obstacles. I mean, do you remember the meals everyone ate outside in 25-degree weather just to be together? Our students also looked beyond themselves to care for the sick and raise funds for those in need. They reminded me not only of the frailty, but the beauty of human connection and the importance of fostering it at every turn. Like President Ryan, I will never forget the way this community responded to the tragic shootings last year and mourn the loss of Devin, Lavelle, and Deshawn. That moment easily could have torn our community apart, but thanks to all of you, it brought us closer together. And then there has been a different kind of crisis altogether, a chronic one, but punctuated by acute moments of particular stress. That is the ongoing challenge that increased national and global polarization has posed for our universities. The sense that campuses lack a true exchange of ideas and students lack a willingness to listen to those with whom they disagree. The sense that the moments of fracture one sees in the news, from, say, everything about complaints about the classroom climate to disruptions of invited speakers to protests, are the tip of a huge iceberg of balkanization and intolerance, and that there are many more such moments just below the surface. That has not been my experience. The moments that end up in the news, they are not examples of a plethora of additional incidents. They are the iceberg, and our students don't get enough credit. What those outside universities don't see is students and faculty, and especially students and faculty here, engaged in a search for truth that I feel privileged to witness and participate in and facilitate all the time. We have here a testing of ideas every day, every week, across thousands of classes and thousands of events and speakers from all perspectives and all viewpoints. It is not always easy to disagree and engage with respect and empathy, especially over deeply held views in challenging times. But we manage it far more often than not. I want to tell you about one such instance. It's a fairly mundane and lighthearted one, but a favorite of mine that exemplifies the kind of exchange that goes on here all the time. It took place regularly during a class that my husband and I teach in our home. We had two good friends who were taking the class together, and they always made a beeline to a chair and a half in our living room where we held the class. Chair and a half is like a little mini love seat meant for a couple to watch a movie on. You sit very close together. And these two good friends every time sat squeezed into this little chair and a half, inches apart, and lovingly, affectionately, and humorously disagreed about everything. I choose this story because it underscores the importance of the big yellow flower, that knowing each other as full human beings enables us to engage even when we disagree, especially then. Stories like this one are the tip of the real iceberg of learning, dialogue, and an openness to the perspectives of others that go on across these grounds every day. Such stories might surprise some of you, but they have never surprised me. We talk and argue together, we break bread together, we see each other as human beings and ask about the flower and want to know what they said next. Given the many crises of the past 8 years, I came to see the photos on my walls as less about some distant historical era and more as an aspiration about our shared humanity during turbulent times then and now. The humanity whose fragility COVID and the tragic shooting revealed, the humanity that enables us and our students to talk across difference, to learn from one another, and to continue the university's long tradition of walking side by side, even across cultural and sartorial and generational chasms, searching together for truth. So as I wrote that mini speech, I realized I was talking as much about this place as about this occasion or this moment. So here is speech number 3. I did not have the privilege of walking this lawn as a graduate of the University of Virginia. I first encountered UVA during my interview to join the faculty in the fall of 2000. I knew UVA was special immediately. I could see that it was both a big tent and a real community. My interviewers challenged me and each other with warmth, humanity, respect, and generosity, and from every possible intellectual perspective. Those interviewers became my colleagues, lucky me, and they have been challenging me just like that ever since. What I didn't know from that first interview was that such values are shared across this whole university. Nor did I know that that combination of values, which seemed special already at the time, would become ever scarcer in our world in the decades since. A few years ago, the law school dedicated a portrait to Elaine Jones, the first Black woman to graduate from the law school in 1970 and the first woman head of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Elaine is amazing. It was not easy to be the first Black woman or one of only a handful of Black or women students at all at the time, at a university that had enslaved laborers, promoted eugenics, and defended Jim Crow for far too long. But even against that history, and in the midst of the many challenges she faced of being a pathbreaker, Elaine saw then, and still sees today, more than 50 years later, what she described at her portrait unveiling, paraphrasing an old Black spiritual as the sweet, sweet spirit of this place. That spirit is what I first saw in my job interview and what I have been describing in every version of this speech. It has never been perfectly achieved. It has been tested again and again over our history, and at sometimes, some people may have trouble discerning its presence at all. But even when we have profound disagreements and the toughest conversations about who we are and how we live our values, I have faith in this place and its people. I have faith that that sweet, sweet spirit prevails. It persists. It is our lodestar and our aspiration. That spirit, in fact, is why I wanted to become dean, though I didn't yet have a Lane's phrase in my head when I began to explore the path that brought me here to you today. A former dean at another law school told me when I asked for advice, "You shouldn't be dean if you only want to be dean at UVA. You should want to be a law school dean, categorically, of any place." Boy, did I disagree. It's not that I wanted to be a dean in the abstract. I wanted to be dean of UVA Law School. I love this place. This place made me the scholar and teacher I am today. It made me, in many ways, the person I am today. And I wanted to give back, to make this place the best version of itself it can be, and to make sure the world knows the importance of what we do here. That is why it matters to me that the photos on my walls represent the 1960s right here on our grounds. They remind me that then and now, we at UVA are not immune to the challenges of global and national conflict. How could we be when we are part of this world and when engaging with it, questioning it, learning about it, serving it is all core to what we do here? Those photos then are a testament to the endless process of change and generational contestation, because UVA is a perpetual breathing, living, squirming, human, joyous, talking, and arguing institution, none of which is easy, much of which can be uncomfortable and even jarring. But we have lived in momentous political times before, and we have come through the other side. The sweet, sweet spirit of this place is that even if we don't succeed, we care enough to try. We aspire to take risks and responsibility, face the problems this world poses, and pay attention to them with every ounce of creativity and perspective we can muster. We seek common humanity by asking about the flower and what they said next and what I did before, and walking side by side across chasms in the perpetual quest for human connection and truth. As you can already see, whichever version of my speech I begin with, about this occasion or our historical moment or this place, all three are ultimately about you. They are about the challenges you faced, the grace, generosity, and humanity with which you have navigated them, and the people who have supported you. They are about the mark each of you has made on this place and it on you, and the voices you want to be in other people's heads. It turns out that you are already the voices in my head, in all of our heads, shaped by this extraordinary time and this sweet, sweet place. You are about to be graduates of the University of Virginia, and you leave here rich with the resources of this place and with its spirit. What you do, how you use your talents, and on whose behalf, how you use your voice, all of that is up to you. None of you will do it the same way, and that is as it should be. Wherever this fragile, challenging, beautiful life of ours takes you, may you discover what is interesting in every problem and find people who will love and support you and you them. May you ask about the flower and what they said next, and remember always my mother's voice asking, if not you, who? Congratulations, class of 2024, and thank you.
President of the university.
Thank you, Risa, for that incredible speech, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service to our university. You have been a truly extraordinary leader of the law school. It's worth clapping for. Okay, before we confer degrees, I'd like to recognize the 41 students who have earned their baccalaureate degrees in 3 years and 1 student who earned their degree in 2 years. I know. As a symbol of their achievement, these students are wearing orange stoles today. Will those of you who are graduating early please stand so we can give you a well-deserved round of applause. I would also like to recognize the 650 students who are the first in their families to graduate over the course of this weekend. As a fellow first-generation student, I admire your accomplishments, and I know your families do as well. All of today's degree candidates are listed in the digital program, including those who completed the requirements for their degrees in December or last August. Today, we will award 1,447 baccalaureate degrees, 443 first professional degrees in law and medicine, and 1,766 graduate degrees, including 1,556 master's degrees and 210 doctoral degrees. The deans will now present the candidates for degrees, and then under the authority vested in the general faculty and delegated to me, I will then award the degrees.
The Executive Vice President and Provost of the University.
The Dean of the School of Medicine.
The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine, please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Medicine.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Medicine, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to use your training to heal the sick, sustain the well, and protect the welfare of the young, the old, and all who seek your care and counsel. Congratulations.
The doctors of medicine will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to use your knowledge and training to become leaders in your fields, advancing research, curing diseases, and educating the next generation of scholars. Congratulations.
The Doctors of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Master of Public Health or Master of Science in the School of Medicine will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Public Health or Master of Science in the School of Medicine.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Public Health or Master of Science, with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I charge you to use your training, knowledge, and research to advance clinical care, patient outcomes, health care, and policies affecting our communities. Congratulations.
The Masters of Public Health and Masters of Science will please be seated. Congratulations, School of Medicine.
The Dean of the School of Law.
The candidate for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Law, I have the honor to present the candidate who has fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science.
First, I admire your uniqueness. And I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I congratulate you on the completion of the highest degree that can be earned in the study of law. I urge you to use your specialized training and research abilities to advance fair and equitable application of the law. Congratulations.
The Doctor of Juridical Science will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Master of Laws will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Laws.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Laws with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to use your advanced knowledge of the law in the pursuit of justice and the betterment of humankind. Congratulations.
The Masters of Laws will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor.
I confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I charge you to use your training and knowledge to preserve individual liberties, freedom, and justice through the process of the law. Congratulations.
The Juris Doctors will please be seated. Congratulations all.
The Dean of the School of Engineering and Applied Science.
Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Engineering and Applied Science please rise and remain standing? Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Engineering and Applied Science.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to pursue discoveries and inventions for the betterment of humankind, to work at the frontiers of applied knowledge, and to communicate the excitement of science to the next generation. Congratulations.
The Doctors of Philosophy will please be seated. The candidates for master's degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for master's degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science.
I confer upon you the appropriate master's degree in the School of Engineering and Applied Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to pursue rigorous research that advances modern technology and sustains human life. Congratulations.
The master's graduates of the School of Engineering and Applied Science will please be seated. The candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for bachelor's degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science.
I confer upon you the appropriate bachelor's degrees in the School of Engineering and Applied Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to use your knowledge and skills to transform the principles of science and mathematics into new and useful technologies. Congratulations.
The bachelor's graduates of the School of Engineering and Applied Science will please be seated. Congratulations, engineers.
The Dean of the Darden Graduate School of Business Administration.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Science or Master of Business Administration will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Science or Master of Business Administration.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science or Master of Business Administration with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to promote innovation, equity, and ethical integrity in your leadership of the practical affairs of this nation and in the world. Congratulations.
The Masters of Science and Masters of Business Administration will please be seated. Congrats, Darden.
The Dean of the School of Architecture.
The candidate for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Constructed Environment will please stand. Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Architecture, I have the honor to present this candidate who has fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Constructed Environment.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Constructed Environment, and I congratulate you on your accomplishment. Congratulations.
The Doctors of Philosophy in the Constructed Environment will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Master of Architectural History, Architecture, Landscape Architecture, Urban Design, or Urban Environmental Planning will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Architecture, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Architectural History, Architecture, Landscape Architecture, Urban Design, or Urban Environmental Planning.
I confer upon you the appropriate master's degree in the School of Architecture with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to shape rich and humane environments that acknowledge the heritage of the past while anticipating the needs of the future. Congratulations.
The Masters of Architectural History, Architecture, Landscape Architecture, Urban Design, and Urban Environmental Planning will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Architectural History, Bachelor of Science in Architecture, or Bachelor of Urban Environmental Planning will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Architecture, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Architectural History, Bachelor of Science in Architecture, or Bachelor of Urban and Environmental Planning.
I confer upon you the appropriate bachelor's degree in the School of Architecture with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to use your knowledge to preserve and shape environments that inform and magnify the quality of life itself. Congratulations.
The Bachelors of Architectural History, Bachelors of Science in Architecture, and Bachelors of Urban Environmental Planning will please be seated. I'm so proud of you all. Go A School.
The Dean of the School of Nursing.
candidates for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice.
I'm glad you have each other. I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I charge you to apply your specialized knowledge and abilities to the work of enhancing the profession of nursing as you enter practice or as you teach aspiring nurses. Congratulations.
The Doctor of Nursing Practice will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Nursing will please rise and remain standing. Well, we do have 5. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Nursing.
I confer upon you, wherever you are, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I challenge you to pursue research that will shape the future of healthcare. Congratulations.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Science in the School of Nursing will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Science in the School of Nursing.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you to use your advanced knowledge and skills to promote the health and well-being of the individuals, families, and communities you serve. Congratulations.
The Master of Science will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the School of Nursing will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the School of Nursing.
I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and I challenge you to promote human health and to strive to improve the lives of persons in need. Congratulations.
The Bachelor of Science will please be seated.
The Dean of the McIntire School of Commerce.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Accounting, Master of Science in Commerce, Master of Science in Global Commerce, Master of Science in Management of Information Technology, Master of Science in Business Analytics will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Masters of Science in Accounting, Master of Science in Commerce, Master of Science in Global Commerce, Master of Science in Management of Information Technology, or Master of Science in Business Analytics.
I confer upon you the appropriate master's degree in the School of Commerce with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you to boldly shape global business with integrity, purpose, and a fundamental understanding of how commerce can contribute to the common good. Congratulations.
The master's graduate of the McIntire School of Commerce will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the McIntire School of Commerce will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the McIntire School of Commerce.
I confer upon you the appropriate bachelor's degree in the School of Commerce with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. And I charge you, as our next generation of business leaders, to consider how you can ethically transform society and fearlessly solve global challenges using commerce for the common good. Congratulations.
The Bachelors of Science will please be seated. Congratulations, Com.
The Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies.
The candidates for the degree of Master of Public Safety will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Public Safety.
I confer upon you the degree of Master of Public Safety with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I challenge and empower you to think critically, reinforce democratic principles, serve the public, earn community trust, and help more people live free from fear and harm. Congratulations.
The Masters of Public Safety will please be seated. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies or Bachelor of Professional Studies in Health Sciences Management will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies and Bachelor of Professional Studies in Health Sciences Management.
I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies or Bachelor of Professional Studies in Health Sciences Management with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I commend your commitment to lifelong learning, and I challenge you to continue in that spirit as you further your education, pursue your career, and strive to reach your goals. Congratulations.
The Bachelors of Interdisciplinary Studies and Bachelors of Professional Studies in Health Sciences Management will please be seated. Congratulations, SCPS.
The Dean of the School of Data Science.
The candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Data Science will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the School of Data Science.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging. I charge you to elevate the lives and environs of those whose data you collect and analyze, to champion data privacy and ethics, and to advance the practice of data science ever onwards. Congratulations.
Will the very first Doctors of Philosophy in Data Science please be seated? The candidates for the degree of Master of Science in the School of Data Science will please rise and remain standing. Mr. President, I have the honor to present these candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Master of Science in the School of Data Science.
Our last but not least, our final group, so let me begin by thanking you for your patience. I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science with all the rights and privileges thereunto belonging, and charge you to use your knowledge and skills to continue exploring, analyzing, and safeguarding data to make discoveries to advance the world while treating data ethically and with regard to the privacy rights of individuals. Congratulations.
The Masters of Science will please be seated. Onwards, data science.
And congratulations to all of you.
The Chair of the University of Virginia Alumni Association Board of Managers.
Good morning, class of 2024. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And congratulations to your families as well. You all earned this big day. On behalf of the UVA Alumni Association, I am honored to welcome you officially to our alumni family. You are now part of a vibrant community of more than 270,000 alumni living across the world. Since 1838, the Alumni Association has worked to build strong bonds among alumni and also between alumni and our university. At its core, the association is all about connecting, informing, serving, celebrating, and investing in you and our university. And for the alums in the crowd who have attended our class reunions, young alumni reunions, Black Alumni Weekend, or Juntos, I know you can attest to the fact that we, like the class of 2024 is showing this weekend, are very good at the celebrating component of our mission. And talking about celebrating, you are here with your classmates today who will be lifelong friends, and I can tell you from experience, your connections to the university are only going to strengthen over time. I'm going to make a bold prediction. You are going to have a fellow alumni who you do not know right now impact your life in some meaningful way going forward. Trust me, it'll happen. And I know it's happened to me. As just one example of many, I'm a graduate of the Commerce School. So shout out to the Com School grads out there. But I went into law, and when I interviewed with my law firm in Washington, D.C., a UVA alum was on the interview panel, and we had an instant connection. Now, 16 years later, I'm at the same firm, and we're law partners. But the benefits of being an alum don't just flow one way. I'm also going to predict that you're going to have the opportunity to lend a helping hand to a fellow who, at some point in the future, and I know you'll do that. And it really does mean a lot when a student or a young alum reaches out to you down the line and you respond to them. You take the time to talk to them, you mentor them. It's a big deal, and UVA alums do that all the time, and I know you'll be no different. So as life takes its inevitable twists and turns, I hope you'll remember that the Alumni Association is here to welcome you wherever you are and wherever your path leads you. I hope this next chapter of your life will bring you success and fulfillment. I hope you'll go out and explore all the world has to offer, and I hope you'll always find your way back home to UVA. On behalf of the Alumni Association's Board of Managers, our team at Alumni Hall, and the entire UVA alumni family, congratulations, welcome, and wahoo wah.
The President of the University.
All right, this is the last time you'll see me, I promise. So thank you, Kenan. We are fortunate, as you know, to have a strong and tight-knit community of alumni whose time on grounds shaped their lives. And I'm grateful that so many of those alumni have done so much to give others the same experience. Those of you who are graduating today have benefited from the generosity of alumni, parents, and friends in ways large and small. And I'd like to thank all of you who have joined this tradition through your class gift. I'd also like to say a final thanks to our Grand Marshal, Professor Beth Meyer, and to all of today's speakers and performers. Okay, I know I'm now the only one standing between celebrating with your family and friends, so I will be brief. I have one personal request and then one thing to ask you to remember. The personal request is related to my wife, Katie. When Risa was talking about how much her husband, Rich, worries about her and wants to help, I couldn't help but think of Katie, who is here. And she has hosted countless open houses at our house for students, and I can tell you that she cares as much about you as I do. And I wonder if you could help me thank her. Okay, before I say farewell to this truly special class, I'd like to leave you with one simple request, which is to carry this place and this community with you. I'd like you to remember the feeling of being here in this place with these people and carry it with you. Carry with you what it felt like to be surrounded by a group of fellow students who were as compassionate as they were talented. Carry with you what it felt like to learn from professors who loved a subject so much you couldn't help but get excited about it too. Carry with you what it felt like to live with your friends, and carry with you the knowledge that your friends will travel the road ahead with you. Carry with you what it felt like to build bridges and to get to know someone different, and how that ended up changing you. Carry with you how it felt to serve others and the satisfaction that came from devoting your time and energy to something bigger than yourself. Carry with you how it felt to be part of a community that experienced both great sorrow and great joy together. Carry with you what it felt like to support a friend or classmate who was struggling. Carry with you, if relevant, what it felt like to run from one end of the lawn to the other, unencumbered by clothing. Carry with you what it felt like to live in a community of trust and strive to live your life with integrity and honor. And carry with you especially the memory of this day, of walking the lawn, and of being together and celebrating together. If you remember all of this, I have no doubt you will carry the very best of this place with you as you face with courage and purpose the beautiful, joyous, challenging, sometimes tragic, and always surprising road ahead. And should that road ever lead you back to UVA, your alma mater, and I hope it does, please know that we'll leave the lights on for you. Congratulations and best of luck.
Your department graduation ceremonies that are scheduled for this morning and afternoon will take place at the Fairweather locations. Those times and locations of the department ceremonies can be found in your program. Those ceremonies will begin after graduates and their guests have ample time to reach the ceremony sites. Now, graduates and guests, please rise for the singing of the good old song.